Jacob had 12 sons, but one son was different from all the others. His name was Joseph. Among all his children, Jacob loved Joseph the most, and he made absolutely no secret of it. He gave Joseph a coat of many colors, a special royal garment that announced to everyone who saw it, "This boy is set apart. This boy is chosen. This boy is favored above all others." His brothers saw this every single day. They watched their father's eyes light up when Joseph walked into the room. They watched Joseph receive what they never received. They watched, and they burned inside with something that went far beyond simple jealousy. Then Joseph started having dreams. Not ordinary dreams that fade with morning light. These were prophetic dreams. Dreams carrying the unmistakable fingerprint of God on every detail. He gathered his brothers together and told them the first dream.
We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field when suddenly my sheaf rose and your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it.
The room went cold. His brothers stared at him in disbelief.
Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us?
I had another dream, and this time the sun and moon and 11 stars were all bowing down to me. Even his father Jacob could not stay silent this time.
What is this dream you had? Will your mother and I and your brother come bow down to the ground before you?
His brothers were furious beyond words, but his father kept the matter in his mind, turning it over quietly like a man who suspects something extraordinary is unfolding before his eyes. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers, who were tending flocks far from home in Shechem. Joseph put on his coat of many colors and set out across the fields to find them. His brothers spotted him coming from a long distance away, and before he even arrived, the plotting had already begun.
Here comes that dreamer.
I must check on my brothers. Joseph, what brings you here? Just checking on you.
They wanted to murder their own brother, in cold blood, right there in the wilderness, and bury the secret with his body. But Reuben, the oldest brother, stepped in at the last moment.
What will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood.
While they were eating, Judah looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelite traders coming from Gilead, their camels loaded with spices and balm on their way down to Egypt. His brothers agreed. They pulled Joseph up out of the pit, and they sold him. The traders took Joseph and headed south. Something supernatural happened the moment Joseph arrived in Egypt. The Lord was with Joseph, so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. Everything Joseph touched succeeded. Potiphar noticed it immediately. He saw that the Lord was with this young Hebrew slave, that the Lord gave him success in everything he did. So Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his entire household.
I am putting you in charge of my entire household. Everything I own is now under your care.
Joseph was young, strong, handsome, and Potiphar's wife noticed. Day after day, she tried to seduce him.
Come to me, Joseph. No one need ever know.
My master has withheld nothing from me except you because you are his wife. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?
But she would not stop. One day she grabbed his cloak and pulled him toward her.
Joseph, stay with me.
No, I cannot betray him.
Servant, help! He attacked me! My lord, Joseph attacked me. He left his cloak.
What is this, Joseph's cloak?
You treacherous slave! To the dungeon with him!
From the palace to the prison, from favor to chains. While Joseph was in prison, 2 of Pharaoh's officials were thrown in with him, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Both men had disturbing dreams on the same night. Joseph interpreted both dreams perfectly. To the cupbearer, in 3 days, Pharaoh will restore you to your position. To the baker, in 3 days, Pharaoh will have you executed. Both interpretations came true exactly as Joseph said, but Joseph made one request of the cupbearer before he was released. When things go well with you, remember me. Then one night Pharaoh himself had a dream. 2 dreams, actually, both deeply troubling. 7 fat, healthy cows, swallowed up by 7 thin, ugly cows. 7 full, healthy heads of grain, swallowed up by 7 thin, scorched heads. Pharaoh called every magician and wise man in all of Egypt. Nobody could interpret the dreams. Nobody. And suddenly, the cupbearer remembered.
Today I am reminded of my shortcomings. There was a young Hebrew in prison. He interpreted our dreams, and everything happened exactly as he said.
Pharaoh sent for Joseph immediately. Joseph was rushed out of the prison, shaved.
I had a dream and no one can interpret it. But I have heard it said of you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it. I cannot do it. But God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires. Behold, 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt. The 7 good cows and the 7 good heads of grain are 7 years of abundance. The 7 lean, ugly cows. There will be 7 years of great abundance. You must store the surplus grain now to survive the lean years ahead. Your Majesty, during the 7 years of abundance, you must store 1/5 of all the grain produced.
Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?
Since God has made all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people will submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you.
Pharaoh took his signet ring off his finger and put it on Joseph's finger. He dressed him in robes of fine linen. He put a gold chain around his neck. He had him ride in a chariot as his second in command. And people shouted before him, "Make way!" The boy thrown into a pit by his brothers. The slave sold for 20 pieces of silver. The innocent man thrown into prison was now the second most powerful man in all of Africa, in all the world. The 7 years of abundance came and went. Then the famine struck, not just Egypt, but the entire known world. And back in Canaan, Jacob and his family were starving. Jacob heard there was grain in Egypt. He sent 10 of his sons down to buy food, all except the youngest, Benjamin. The 10 brothers traveled all the way down to Egypt. They came and bowed down before him with their faces to the ground.
I am Joseph. Is my father still living?
Come close to me. I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves
For selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you.
Pharaoh heard that Joseph's brothers had come and was delighted. He told Joseph to bring his entire family to Egypt. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you can enjoy the fat of the land. Jacob and his entire family, 70 people in all, packed up everything they owned and traveled down to Egypt.